It's Madden NFL22 on EA Sports, where London will play host to a different kind of football. It's the Fins and the Jaguars, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Jaguars in this matchup. They've got to be thinking, hey, we've got a good chance to be successful here running the football.
No doubt about that, because that has to be their mindset. It should be their mindset. This is one of the better rushing offenses in the league, and they're squaring off against a team that's not at all strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
Two teams on opposite ends of the Sunshine State. The Jags and Dolphins are underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. For the first time, the Jacksonville Jaguars set to go here on offense, led out by the new face of the franchise, the #1 overall pick, of course, from this year's draft. It's Trevor Lawrence out of Clemson.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. So a glance here at the key inactives. There's other reasons, but this list, one of the reasons they've been struggling some this year. And
one that they won't make excuses with, but everyone knows that this is the key reason. Without these players, it's made it very difficult for them this season. They've battled, they've scrapped, but without those guys, hard to win games.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Lawrence with the handoff to Robinson, and he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Check in on the numbers last week for Robinson. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw here into the hands of Jones. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 43. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Play action. It's Lawrence. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Leading him out in his 6th season now from NC State, it's Jacoby Brissett.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Here's 2nd and a yard. Now the former Washington Husky, here's Myles Gaskin, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Brissett sets to throw it. And that'll be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
On the handoff, it's Gaskin. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. So first possession, 4th and short. Field goal's no gimme from here. You think about going for it?
I'm not just thinking about it. I'm signaling go for it. Let's get this, all right? Yeah, look, you're right. You know, the field goal's there, but it's not a chip shot. My big thing is opening drive. You're trying to establish momentum. Let's not stall it ourselves. Let's go get this first down and then continue on downfield and try and get a touchdown.
Like your confidence.
Why not? Let's go.
First down, Brissett. Flush to his right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carter. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And they run the option on 2nd down. Look at this. And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And this is one of the dangers of letting your quarterback run the football. And now, look, he goes through ball security drills just like a running back does. But most of the time, the quarterback swings the ball away from his body. And in traffic, sometimes they forget to protect it.
Brissett's throw here taken in by Gesicki. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
This is caught. Touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
On first down, Lawrence. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Robinson. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything to try and break their losing streak. So you must stay alert and stay aware.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami set to take over. They're starting to put some space here. The first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right? Trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. Brissett's throw is taken in by Waddle. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes our score 17-0. after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. To return, here's Agnew. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. James Robinson and the rest of the Jags offense set to go to work once more. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch.
And the pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them. If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They run. Robinson. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The run on 3rd and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance, even in a long yardage situation, to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a first down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing, Brissett, escaping the pressure right. They'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle, because where it goes, that's where you find his body. And he was able to get in there and make a great play.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour. We now proceed to the start. As always, to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the 2nd half. Here comes Jalen Waddle from his end zone. Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the 2nd half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. On 3rd down, Brissett. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a 1st. play fake. Brissett. Sliding out of the pocket. This will be caught. It's Waddle. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one. As that now will wind up an incomplete pass. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 30. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Now Brissett. Flushed out right. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. Touchdown, Dolphins! Jalen Waddle, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. To return, here's Agnew. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that
now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Emmanuel Ogba that time, able to drop him for a loss. Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball, safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've dropped 4 straight games coming into this one, remember, but they have the lead here. Play action now, Brissett. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Here's Gaskin. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Brissett. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now here's a pass on first down. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here's Brissett. Eluding the pressure right. That's going to be caught by Waddle. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Welcome back now here in London as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. On play action, Lawrence. And it's incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Lawrence will throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
A I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
4th down. Here's Lawrence. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll run now with Gaskin. Shifts by him, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
A nice substantial run there by Gaskin, who was the Dolphins' leading rusher in 2020. 584 total yards in just 7 starts and got stronger as the season went on. Not bad for a 7th-round pick in 2019. He was drafted number 234 overall that season.
Now this throw caught left side, and he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. This is Gaskin on the carry. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 48 yards rushing now. 8 carries for him so far. Lots of plays on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now Waddle on the jet sweep. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left. And their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Lawrence to throw. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First target, first catch, and a first down. Well, they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Jags grab it. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Another run with Gaskin. And he's taken down inside the 30. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Miami, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple